You ready? Yep. All right, well, I'm certainly excited to be in Indianapolis here to officially start the 2019 season. I want to thank my staff for their work all year. Certainly the next few months are a time for those guys to shine. You know, we take pride in our ability to kind of add talent throughout the calendar year, so certainly want to thank them. I think this time of year, I'm no different than any other GM standing on the podium. There's 32 teams there, and every coach is here, every personnel member is here, and we're staying in the same hotel, so there's a lot of dialogue. And I think right now we're just in the process of just collecting information and, you know, look in every way possible to find players and keep adding talent to our team.
Are you just getting a regular coffee?
Yeah, I got you. What do you want?
Just a medium coffee. Black.
Medium coffee.
And can I have a grande pike and a venti blonde, please?
The venti blonde grande pie.
Yep. Thank you.
Here's the blonde.
Okay.
And then did you guys have one?
Thank you.
Yeah. Which one was just a regular?
I use just regular black coffee.
They don't taste the same. A typical morning for me is I'm up, by 5, get my workout in, 6:45, grab a coffee, head over to weigh-in. Typically that takes a couple hours. And then we head over to the field for, positional drills and testing. And then we'll go from, the formal interviews go from anywhere from like 6 to 10 or 11 at night. So it's a full day.
The life of an NFL scout is not easy. Just ask the Director of Football Operations, Mike Borgonzi, who is now entering his 11th season with the Chiefs. The process of discovering and drafting players has become a way of life for the Everett, Massachusetts native. However, at the 2019 NFL Scouting Combine, it's business as usual.
I think that's why we all, signed up to do this job. Once you get done playing, for most of us, it's a way to kind of feel that competitive drive. You have all 32 teams here this week, and, we're trying to field the best team, and it all starts right here.
Okay, go back to the hugs. Try to stay flat. Good stretch. Lift up on that toe, move it around.
There's a lot of work for everyone that goes into this. It's a long 2 months. A lot of people don't realize this whole thing is all mental. It's a mental game up at the combine. So you just tell them, just check the boxes. Get this on the bench. All right, perfect. Run this, look smooth in your drills, make the scouts not pull up a red flag on you. They don't run or work out until their 4th day here, so that's a long time to not do anything. So when they come here at night, we see them for 20, 30 minutes just to make sure they remember their start technique, their shuttle steps and stuff like that.
Here and go. 3 to 5 step, get up. Punch, punch, punch. Rest. Good.
When they run, we really focus on that first 10 yards. So we have this hallway here. But as you guys can see, we're working on that first 5 steps and then maybe transitioning out another 10 yards. And then that back end speed, it's going to be what it's going to be. But we can fix those starts.
Because he's holding back, it's going to progressively get tight. Just keep that moving. Drew got you.
It's going through 5 yards.
Punch those knees, punch the knees, punch the knees. Go.
This doesn't, determine everything. This really doesn't have anything to do with, football. It's just to get a gauge of, your athleticism.
The last one. 1, 2. Be a little quicker on this one. Pop. Perfect.
And, I probably will get those butterflies in my stomach, when I get to the line. But, that's natural, If you don't get those butterflies, then your heart's not really in it.
There you go. 9-5.
While the final times have been clocked in Indy, the work is just beginning for Brett Veach and his staff as they return to Kansas City, sifting through film and finalizing their reports before heading to Nashville for the 2019 NFL Draft.
All right, put him on the free stack. Who's next?
Cincinnati, height is 6021, weight is 291, estimated 40 is 505, arm length is 32 and 5/8, hand is 9 and 6/8, played in the East-West Shrine game.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, it's a great kid. Person's awesome, and the football character's awesome too. He's what you want in the room. He wins when he's singled. He does a good job hunkering down when he's doubled and handles lateral pressure well. I think this guy is a solid late round pick for us. and could help us for depth.
Trey, did you do this kid at the East?
I did. I gave him a 4 for the game.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that first step quickness, they had a pressure early on, was disruptive, even though it didn't always show up on the stat sheet. See the burst in athleticism.
Let's watch the East-West game. East, he's on the East or West?
I think he was on the East.
That was him.
There he is. Right off the bat. There you go.
That's something too, bro. Okay. Have good days and have bad days.
All right, we'll plus on him. How was Cincinnati last year?
Really good. Yeah, they flipped it big time. I think that at one point in time they were like 12-1.
See what Trey 4 looks like for an All-Star game.
Oh, God.
There you go. Who's next?
Marcus Christmas, Florida State. Height is 6'0", 3'7". Weight is 311. Arm is 32 3/8. Hand is 9'0". No time for the 40.
I'm only with him. He's a good kid. He's quiet, reserved. You want to have the right coach. You don't want to have the right room for him to kind of motivate him. And he's a coachable kid. He'll work enough. And they say he loves football. So as a player, I thought this was a solid deal.
Following the combine, each university opens its doors to all 32 NFL scouts for an individual pro day. This day affords the athletes not invited to the combine a chance to participate in combine events. For larger college teams like Florida State, which produce a large number of NFL-ready prospects, their pro day generates huge interest from scouts and coaches. The Chiefs' own Ryan Nutt is in attendance to get a sense of which players may fit the Chiefs' needs heading into the 2019 NFL Draft. However, a familiar face is also lurking amongst the crowd of coaches and scouts.
Finish on. There we go, come on. At the combine, everybody's watching, all the coaches are there, all the scouts are there. At the pro day, I feel like it's more relaxing. I just tell myself, man, just relax, do what we gotta do. So it's more comfortable in a sense. There we go.
Defensive tackle Derek Nottie enters his second season with the Chiefs after coming off a strong rookie year.
Derek Nottie's got him and won't let him go!
Drafted 75th overall in the third round of the 2018 NFL Draft, Nottie was a strong contributor to the Chiefs' defense, starting all but 5 games for the team and racking up 35 total tackles in the process. Today, Nottie's back at his alma mater, hoping to impart some wisdom on another young crop of NFL talent.
The first one was around 4.9. Second one I got 4.99, so it's been about maybe the most of 5 flat, but it's still straight. Coming in today, I'm like literally a fan at this point. I'm just really trying to root for my friends and my teammates and my brothers to do the best that they can and give them a little bit of advice to help on just certain little things for them. The 40, just finishing through the line, things like that. Just run past, done through the whole thing. My main thing was just I wanted to play with great academics, great offensive line coach with a great offensive line, and of all things, a great defensive line coach. And that's the next person we're about to see who really became a big impact on me personally and on my career, as well as the academic part. But this man really taught me everything I know now. It's kind of really helped me with my career. All my credit goes to him.
Not only NFL, he got his degree. I'm very proud of that. That's the main thing.
How was I as a player when I first got here?
Technique wasn't that good. That's the thing. Technique wasn't that good. And there's one thing about it, I knew that the type of kid you was, I had to press upon you and let you know football is not about all strength and brute and stuff. It's about technique. In the NFL, you're going to face somebody every day that's good or better than you are. You got to have great fundamentals. Now, one thing you do have, you have desire and passion for the game. If you got great fundamentals, like I was telling you before, with the desire and passion you have for the game, you're going to be a hell of a player in the NFL.
I'm a long snapper.
I just kind of wish
long snapping is when the ball gets thrown back far away and you kick it. I was like, I know what
I've never been the type of dude to really just show my chest like that, like the big man on campus. I'm more of a humble dude. I kind of stay in my lane.
Yo! Go back!
Yo!
What's up, man? What up?
You got the whole crew with you, man.
Yeah.
You brought Kansas City with you?
They want to see how it is down there.
Oh, he's a superstar, man.
I don't know about that. I'll just do my thing.
You doing pro day again?
No. Man, don't do that. I'm gonna shave your beard. That's fun. All right, my good old spot right here. When I was on campus, I'll come here every day, either the one here or the one near the library. As an athlete on campus, you don't really have that much time to really grab anything to eat. It's probably the clutchest spot I've ever seen, honestly. I always get a jumbo sausage dog. That's my thing. Normally I'll have some, for some reason I'll have some barbecue sauce on me because I'm just a big dude like that.
I got some of it.
Oh, you do? Oh, thank you, thank you. Yes, they got the Sweet Baby Ray's. I know this man got it. Every time like I was in school here, I would purposely try to scare her. Coming quietly. Different. Oh my gosh.
You kind of scared
One
me
day,
just now.
Easily, it's so sad it's easy. So like one day, I did it again and like just for some reason she just really broke down. Just like,
There's video.
There is? Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. But really like though, we do love Jay Fran. In my opinion, she's one of the coolest advisors I've ever had.
Thanks, Naughty. Thank you.
Appreciate that. And I do mean that. I ain't even saying it for the camera.
I love telling the story of Derek Naughty because to me, he was a perfect example of what we look for at Florida State. He prioritized academics and he prioritized athletics, and he was successful in both. He walked out with that piece of paper, and we couldn't be any more happier for him.
Welcome to the 2018 NFL Draft.
So initially, my mind was I'm gonna get picked up by either Seattle, Atlanta, New York, or Minnesota, any of those teams. So when they came by and picked their own players, that's when I started sweating a little bit. And the phone rings. I literally just like, yo, stop. Honestly, I don't remember the conversation because I was just like too happy to really know what's going on. So I was like, hello, hey, this is Brent Veach from the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm like, oh, hello, sir, how you doing? And after the phone was over, I was like, okay. And they're like, what's team? I really couldn't even talk. I was so happy. So I saw that like Kansas City Chiefs are coming out. I was like, yo, that one right there. And after that, you saw the rest.
NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Derek Naughty, defensive tackle, Florida State.
I'm way past amped up at this point. I'm ready to go, man. Ooh, I'm ready to go.
Year two, one, keeping my starting spot. Two, my pass rushing was as good as it should be. And three, this is more of a team type of thing. I want to get past the AFC Championship. That's it.
Nice crowd today. Well, welcome everybody. Appreciate you all coming out. This is certainly an exciting time for me with the draft right around the corner. I feel like we're in a pretty good place. We certainly need to get better, and the positive is you win games and you get a chance to compete for Super Bowls. The negative is you're picking at the bottom of the draft every year. So the more picks you have, the better, because it allows you to navigate the board. So I think having a 1 and 2 twos this year and next year will be helpful for us.
You mentioned last year, leading up to the draft, that it was important to contact other teams and let them know that you were open for business. Is it the same tenor this year, or do you have different conversations now with other teams?
No, it's the same, and I think pretty much every GM. I think over the last few days, I probably spoke to 2 or 3 guys yesterday. I think I spoke to 2 or 3 guys today. They're just making sure that you're alive and, hey, here's my number. It didn't change, and let us know we're interested in trading up or down. And I think once you get closer, you can have more concrete and firm dialogue on what it would take to do something if we get into that position. And whether it happens or not, you have to wait and see how the cards fall.
Well, how about a little breaking news?
Yeah, this is huge.
Right
this is
here.
big
How
one
about
right
a
here.
little breaking news? Get it in. Go ahead.
Reports that Frank Clark of the Seattle Seahawks will soon be a Kansas City Chief.
Just got another text. The Frank Clark trade to the Kansas City Chiefs is, in fact, happening. Obviously, major.
Is this the right move, given the whole map of what happened?
This is your all-in move. The Chiefs are all in for 2019.
Frank Clark, more of a complete player that can give you stuff down in and down out. That's why the Chiefs
Kansas
make
City
this
Chiefs
move.
out of the first round with a big
big-time game changer on
the 29th pick in the NFL draft. They're just going, okay, we don't know. And then they said, okay, Frank Clark, proven commodity. Let's go get him.
Y'all came out here in the rain for me?
Yes, sir, baby. Welcome to KC.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm ecstatic.
Get that ring, man.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get it for sure. Let's get it.
Yeah, baby.
How y'all doing?
Doing awesome, man. Thank you so much. Get it,
y'all ready? Ecstatic, finally here. Ready to come in, man, get in tomorrow, meet the boys, meet the staff, meet everybody. I'm ecstatic, man.
Yeah, today's an exciting day for the Kansas City Chiefs. As you guys know, earlier in the week we reached a trade with Seattle. Now, trades in the NFL happen all the time, but a trade of this magnitude is not done unless it's for an elite player. And certainly Frank is an elite player. Over the last 4 years, he's proven to be one of the very best pass rushers in the NFL.
33. He's taken down for a sack.
He has almost no weaknesses to his game. He can win with speed, he can win with power.
Cousins gets hit, down he goes.
And when you watch him play, he does it every single down. So it's, he's not gassing up for the fourth quarter. I mean, he starts the game and he ends the game in the same fashion. And he just keeps coming and coming and coming. And, this was the plan. I mean, our plan was to try to get Frank Clark.
We got another day and another opportunity to be as great as we can be as teammates, as brothers. Let's go out here and have fun and compete.
After spending 4 seasons with the Seattle Seahawks, Frank Clark has a proven knack for getting after the quarterback.
John throws it in trouble, they got him. Frank Clark got there first, the leading sack man.
In his last 3 seasons, the young defensive end is one of just 7 players in the league to record 9 or more sacks in one season, joining the likes of Khalil Mack and Von Miller.
Hey, let's lock in. Let's go.
For the Chiefs, Clark will be expected to bring that same level of intensity and productivity for Coach Spagnuolo and the Kansas City defensive unit.
I feel like I bring a type of attitude and swagger with my play. When you can play and make plays on the field and then bring other players with you, I feel like that's the key. I feel like that's when you become a great player. When you can attribute and help in a whole nother manner, which helps out, other players on your team, that's when I feel like you're doing the job.
Hey, what's up, boy? That's right. I told you we'd get this done, man. I told Frank this is like 5 years in the making here. Look pretty good, huh?
Blessing. Finally here, huh? Just sign?
Yeah, just sign your name.
Okay. Yeah.
Put 55 there if you want.
You get those chills, When you play a little bit of football, you understand, the type of organizations, the guys that came before you. And immediately when I walked in, I felt it. When you see walking down the halls and you see Derek Thomas on the wall, Will Shields, it's inspiring, because these are places that these guys have went that, all of us strive to go. So it's inspiring, and it's just something that, I fully recognize in the door.
So here is Derek's case that we have right here for being in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Man, rookie of the year, then he led the league in sacks. Then he set the record the next year.
I'm just thankful, because, it's been a long process, 4 years, and, you got to take it all in sometimes because it's not like everyday things like this happen. And for that, I'm forever thankful.
Not understanding what's going on, I'm hearing about getting traded, and I just told myself, I got to let God handle it. I told my family, I started telling everyone around me who was pressuring me to, I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know if I'm getting traded. I don't know if I'm going back to Seattle, but I know I'm playing football next year. And I see, Frank Clark, the trade, they agreed to the trade and everything, and man, I couldn't have been more happy because at that point I knew, I was playing football for the Chiefs at that point, and I was ecstatic about it.
You gotta just lean over and look right here, make a big smile.
We in the building. Don't cut it yet. We in the building. The real 55. Thank you, man. Chiefs Kingdom. We in the building. Can't wait to see you on Sundays.
Perfect. All right. Why don't we do this?
Good evening, Nashville. Welcome to Music City, home of the 2019 NFL Draft.
This is the guy you think we're getting? I think he's going to be gone before we pick.
Yeah. Where do you feel this draft is the strongest?
I think every year is different, but I think the cool thing for us is, I think there's a lot of corners that we like, and in particular that first, second round, I think there's 4 or 5 guys that are really interesting. One of the guys that we were high on before the combine process, and then after the combine process, his numbers kind of backed it up, is the Temple cornerback. He's a unique story. The kid actually went to a smaller school, Presbyterian College, and they actually dropped their football program, and he was looking for a home and ended up at Temple. The cool thing about this kid is he ends up transferring into Temple, and within a week or two had such an impact on the locker room that they named him captain, with only being there for a few weeks. So certainly toughness, grit, leadership was evident early on, and I think his game tape was really good. Then he kind of combines that with a strong Senior Bowl performance. And then as we go on here, we have the chance to spend a lot of time with him, and he's a kid that we really think meets a lot of the criteria we're looking for.
Yeah, so he fits the profile that Steve's looking for with the defense.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get guys that can play multiple different coverages, off, press, and then guys that are just physical and love to compete, are certainly guys that Steve's going to love and we're going to love as an organization. Well, this is a corner from Washington who is another guy that we liked before the combine. So in our pre-combine meetings, this was a guy that kind of jumped off of the film. He shows the ability to play in all different types of coverages. He touches a lot of footballs, has a lot of production, great instincts, and again, just anytime you can add a corner that has the ability to turn the ball over and create a lot of disruption back there is something that is going to be very intriguing to us. And again, as you go back and look at all these corners, I don't know if there was as consistent a performer from the start of the college season to the end of the college season. I think he's a guy that can come in right away and help us out.
How about his leadership qualities?
Yeah, he's a guy that he is a leader in that locker room. But one of the things that kind of resonated with this player is his competitiveness. He's a guy that likes to get up, likes to challenge, doesn't back down. He's not the biggest of players, but again, I think you see his temperament and his overall demeanor, and he's a guy that really likes to challenge wide receivers.
He's good. We'll watch him again with the group because we had.
Okay, so we're headed over day 2 of the draft. We're gonna head over to the Symphony Hall. Should be a little busier today. As you know, yesterday we didn't have a pick. We traded it for Frank Clark. So we didn't have a lot going on. But today it should pick up.
Yesterday, we sat there, kept the draft room informed of any trades that were getting ready to happen, so they get a little early inclination if something was going to happen, and maybe they would want to try and get in on the action too, possibly. So, yeah. So some of the most important things we do here, one, when a trade happens, sometimes there's minimal time left. It could be a minute, or it could happen early. So just being having your sheet ready there and being able to get the card filled out quickly is one of the important things. And secondly is just filling out the correct spelling of the name in case there's a player with a similar name and you don't get the exact one you wanted, because once the card's turned in, that's who you get.
Yep, ready to cards. Okay, awesome. Cool.
Good evening. Welcome to night 2 of the 2019 NFL Draft.
Due to the addition of Frank Clark, Brett Veach and the Chiefs front office would sit out of the first round for the second consecutive year, hoping to find their difference maker with a 61st overall pick. Unfortunately for the Chiefs, cornerback, a targeted position group for the new look secondary, would be a hot commodity.
With the 33rd pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Byron Murphy, DB, Washington.
With the 34th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Rock Ya-Sin, DB, Temple. Let's go.
Talked about a run of corners, man. There could be 10 to 12 corners in this round.
With 2 of Brett Veach's top cornerbacks off the board, the Chiefs have a dilemma and 2 second-round picks on their hands. Parting ways with Chris Conley and DeAnthony Thomas prior to the draft, wide receiver could also be a viable option, giving the reigning MVP of the league yet another deadly weapon.
You're going to call him back? Yeah, he's easy. Yeah, I'm booking it right now. Perfect. Yep.
This is McCall. Hey, this is Brett Veach from the Kansas City Chiefs. How you doing?
Back here in Nashville,
Chiefs on the clock after making the move, and their pick is now in.
To announce the Kansas City Chiefs selection, please welcome from Baylor University.
I'm good. How you doing? Hey, we're doing fantastic, man, and we're on the clock. I don't know if you noticed we traded up, but we're about to select you, man, and we're really excited. This team, man. You excited? Yes, I'm excited.
Chiefs Nation, we have been knocking on that door a long time. I feel like I am now making the pick for the 2020 Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Yes! With the 56th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs have selected Mecole Hardman, wide receiver, Georgia. All right.
Mecole Hardman is a speedy receiver.
The Chiefs have their wide receiver. And although the new rookie boasts an impressive resume during his time with the Georgia Bulldogs as a wideout,
Hardman down the sideline, broke free, and he's gone, touchdown.
it was his performance on special teams that would separate him from the competition.
Roquan had a pretty good debut with the Bears, and it's Mecole Hardman.
The cutback at the 30. Hardman taking it the distance. Touchdown, Georgia.
Hey, Mecole, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Are you excited to be a Chief?
Man, yes, sir. I'm excited.
I tell you what, our draft room is really excited to bring you here. You're going to love playing for Coach Reed.
Where are you today?
I'm in Atlanta with my family.
Are you? Great.
Yes, sir.
Well, good. Well, I look forward to getting to meet you when you come into Kansas City, and welcome you to the Chiefs Kingdom, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to give the phone to Coach Reed, all right?
All right.
All right, thank you.
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Make sure those hamstrings are loose.
Hey, okay, they ready. I'm ready to run right now.
We're gonna wear you out, man.
Mecole.
What's up? What's up, Coach?
I guess you had a good workout for me, huh?
Yes, sir. I did.
All right, I'll see you when you get out here. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Look forward to seeing you. All right, bud. Bye.
Let's go.
NFL reached out and asked if I would announce the Chiefs' third-round pick.
From Texas A&M University.
Here we are. That's why we are here.
Dante Hall.
Feel that pressure? Feel that pressure? Yeah. How do you get rid of that pressure?
We're trying to create competition from the first man down to the 90th man and throughout the summer, and it really never stops.
It's two Kansas Cities, but it's the same city.
Oh.
Like, they share the same city. There's Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas. It took me a little bit to realize that. Like, literally, when I got drafted, they called me. They said, it's in Kansas City, Missouri, and I not Kansas City, Kansas. I'm like, there's two of them?
So you didn't know where you were
No,
going?
I was like, I knew it was Kansas City, so I was like, it's just, don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me.